We are in our fourth season. Wow. Welcome to Women, Wealth, and Entrepreneurship with Ariel Shaw, your host. Season 4 of Women, Wealth, and Entrepreneurship is brought to you by Southern Crescent Women in Business. Visit them at www.scwibga.org. It is also brought to you by our many and wonderful sponsors, Miss Yvette Best of Best Tax Services. Visit them at bestservicesunlimited.com. Also, Mr. Bracia Hell of Divine Designs and Closing Real Estate Deals and Heels. Visit them at www.divinedesignsfor5.com. Also, brought to you by Melissa Ellis of Life Beyond Water. Visit them at lifebeyondwater.org. We can't leave out Miss Alicia A. Williams of the Dazzling Diva Collection. Visit them at thedazzlingdivacollection.com. And Miss Sylvia Ray of the All-Timer Services Center in Morrow, Georgia. Visit them today at www.asc-ga.org. Also, we can't leave out Blessed Hands Healthcare. More information about Blessed Hands, visit them today at blessedhandshc.com. And finally, Miss Tyronica Carter of Radiant Styles Jewelry. Visit her today at tyronicacarter.com. Again, thank you to all of our many sponsors for Season 4 of Women, Wealth, and Entrepreneurship. All right, so welcome to another episode of Women, Wealth, and Entrepreneurship. I am Ariel Shaw, founder and president of Southern Crescent Women in Business. And today we have the pleasure of having Mica Johnson of the Mica Johnson State Farm Agency. Mica, tell everybody, first of all, tell everybody what is your full name and how do you actually pronounce your full name?
Okay, my full name is I'm gonna say the actual pronunciation of it when I say it. So it's actually Michal Nichelle Williams Johnson. So that is how you say my first name is Michal.
That is such a beautiful name. Can you tell everybody what does Michal mean? Where did it originate from?
So basically it's biblical. The pronunciation can be found in German and it also can be found in Aramaic. So it is actually biblical as well. So it's a biblical name and it means one like God. One is like God. So yeah. So and it is actually my mom got it from Saul's daughter, Michal, who was married to David in the Bible.
That is beautiful. Oh my goodness.
Thank you.
So unique.
So
you are the founder of the Mica State Farm Agency, Mica Williams Johnson State Farm Agency, and you are based in what city specifically?
Conyers, Georgia.
Conyers, Georgia. And what county is that, and what counties do you guys serve?
Well, actually, it is in Rockdale County, but we service all of Georgia, Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi, and South Carolina and North Carolina.
That's amazing. Can you tell everyone why you decided to stretch out that far? So I'll hear some agents and some agencies where they say, well, they serve, Georgia and like our bordering states, Alabama, but you've hit Georgia, you've hit Mississippi, you've hit, did you say Tennessee?
Tennessee, Alabama, South Carolina, and North Carolina.
Was there a strategy behind why you decided to pick those particular areas? And how long did it take for you to be able to service all of those states?
Well, I picked those areas because all of those states surround Georgia. So I wanted to make sure that my reach was as far as I could take it and to make sure that we provide, insurance for all the families in need. So just making sure we'd be able to service more customers. And it didn't take long at all. Within my first month, I had actually, before I started, I already had started getting in line so I can make sure that I have all those dates.
That is very, very strategic. And so what does one have to do to be able to service those states outside of the state that you're currently in?
Well, for as servicing with State Farm, basically you have to basically, of course, have your license. Then make sure that basically apply for those licensings with those within those states. So you would actually go to Siricon and apply for any additional states and pay for the licensing and fall and make sure you meet those requirements.
Okay, so there is not a reciprocity that happens between particular states. You literally have to get a license in each state.
Yes. So basically, if you want to service any type of insurance product in any state, you have to have a license in any state for that. So no matter what state it is, you have to apply.
So, Micah, that's a pretty aggressive strategy right from the get-go. You started when? Tell us when you opened your agency.
I opened my agency November 1 of 2021.
And so right now it is actually, oh my God, so happy anniversary.
Thank you.
Wait a
Thank
minute,
you.
you just had an anniversary and you
Yes.
didn't even say anything. Wow, so congratulations. So this is
Thank you.
2023. That's amazing. You need to make sure you push that out. But so you came out pretty aggressive, because I would say that's a pretty aggressive strategy from the get-go. What was the reason behind that? So we know you're going to share with the world, what your plans are, but does that fit right into what the next step of the insurance empire that you're building?
Yes, it does. So everything I've done has always been, for a reason. And I know you didn't kind of ask me that, but basically, the reason why I even started my insurance agency is because of my daughter and because of my niece. So my daughter was in a major car accident on 285 and broke both arms, both legs.
Oh my God.
Um, yes, so she was left for me to take care of. She was 19 in college, so had to take care of her, and also my niece who died from spinal meningitis at the age of 9.
Mm.
um, didn't have adequate coverage. And my daughter did have adequate coverage, but it still wasn't enough.
Mm.
So that's pretty much why I'm very aggressive in this industry, wanting to make sure I share my story with people and make sure that they realize how important it is to be covered and have the best coverage you need for you and your family.
Wow, wow. So your daughter that was 19, you were able to take care of her. Um, is she here with us today?
Yes, she is. Thank God.
That is a blessing. So what did that experience, as a mom, but then as, a woman who maybe didn't start in that industry, what hurdles did you have to, overcome to say, this is what I want to do? Were there any?
Yeah, of course, there's always, hurdles. I left one major hurdle was just leaving a career where, I was there for over 10 years in corporate America and climbing that ladder and then deciding I want to do something that I felt was more fulfilling and where I can help people more and I have a broader reach. So that was one hurdle, just getting out of that mental mindset that, I can do this and I can move forward with doing something different. The second one, what I would say is just making sure, just having everything in a row, just making sure you plan and you kind of make that checklist of everything you need to do, whether it's making sure you have funding and making sure you have that business plan in place and making sure that you have that mindset to go after what you truly want. So, and then just the hurdle of making sure that you can stand up to everybody else and making sure that you can make your name out there just just like any other, because a lot of times when you look in insurance, you see it's kind of a male dominated industry along with a lot of other things, and just making sure that that female presence is known and making sure that we can, I can do the same.
That's really important. We've heard that so many times that insurance is a male dominated industry. Why do you think that is?
Um, When I think back to it, I think it's because it goes back to way back in the day when the insurance salesman used to go door to door and the wife was at home, taking care of the family and cooking and just doing those duties. So a lot of times people always used to say, that's the insurance man, that's the insurance man. So I think that's why. And a lot of times I think that women have to understand that we can step out and we can branch out and we can do the exact same thing. We can be on the golf course and we can still take care of our families, and we can still talk business and still take care of our families. So I think that has been the biggest challenge with anything or any role that we try to move forward to, is just understanding we can do it too.
That's a really good point. So it wasn't so much that it's been closed to women, it's just you don't think a lot of women desired or saw that it was something that we could also do.
Correct. Yes.
So tell us a little bit about who you are. What is your background?
Um, my background, I come from Louisiana. So born and raised Louisiana. Um,
So are you officially a Creole?
Officially, yes, I can kind of say Creole and a little bit of other stuff mixed all in, but officially, definitely Creole, Louisiana native. Family is from Louisiana and from a little bit of everywhere, mixed all up. But about Mica, I was raised by my mom. My mom was a single parent at one point before her and my dad got back together, but raised by my aunt and my uncle and my grandfather. So I've always been an entrepreneur at heart too. So I always, like you see on TV with the kids, I always want to do the bake sales or the candy sales outside of the front yard. So I have a passion for entrepreneurship and also a passion for people. So no matter what I've done in my life, I've always been always where I always wanted to help people, work with people. So always in that business role. Like I said before, corporate background, moved to Georgia right before Hurricane Katrina hit my family, and still continue to work in retail big box from different levels, just working my way up in whatever field that I had until I decided to step out on my own. Um, I love to, for as Mike, I love to play golf, and I love to play chess and backgammon and read. I love spending time with my family. We go to church religiously, and um, just doing things with other people. And I love also to support others and other women as well. So anytime anybody asks me to try to be a part of something or be there, I always try to make sure I'm there to try to help support and be that cheerleader on the side.
Wow. And so you love these sports that I don't see. Well, now we're seeing a little bit more women get into the space of golf and that sort of thing. Tell us, how did you get introduced to that space and even chess? I find that, people, especially business individuals who can learn to play chess always have an advantage. Tell us, one, how did you get introduced to that? Is it something you did growing up? Did your grandfather play a role into that? And do you think that those particular sports and activities help make you a better businesswoman?
Ooh, yeah, that's really good. So I never really thought about it, but yes, my grandfather introduced me to, different games, and my dad introduced me to backgammon. And far as golf, my dad as well, because my dad came back into my life when I was about probably about 12 years old. And so he kind of taught me always to be, when you do these certain things or you play these certain things, it's always a mindset. So it kind of helps you to throughout your life to kind of see things in a different light and a different picture. So I do say yes. The games and the different things, the sports and the activities always play a major role in that. And then puzzles. I'm a really, really puzzle fanatic. So I put together 5,000, 10,000 piece puzzles. So I think that all those things help you
I
to think
love
outside the
that.
think outside the box.
I
Yes.
love that. So, I'm a literacy advocate and all an advocate for all things as it relates to kids, but logic is definitely one of them. So with my daughter, I made sure she was putting together puzzles while she was learning how to walk. And I find that those who knew how to do that, even learning how to play checkers, all of that before she was probably, I don't know, 7, it definitely helps kids develop um the logic and being able to think strategically. So I'm so glad you said that. So now I understand really who is Mica. She really is strategic. That's and so going into that, you are also one of the fall covers of Southern Crescent Women in Business magazine as a solo cover. So congratulations on that. I
Thank
want
you.
to know why you decided I want to make sure I have a solo cover because the organization, we hadn't really opened up the solo opportunity to a lot of people or period, it was by basically it was a request and then we decided yes or no. Uh, but when we decided to open it up, there's still a yes or no portion to it. But you came out long before people who've been members of the organization and said,
Wow.
hey, put me down for a solo cover. Why strategically you thought that this was the best thing to do for you, your brand, your business?
I think that, honestly, God has a plan for everything that we do. So I think that it was just that time, for me to step out on faith and just to move forward with it because, when I look at other people on the covers of magazines and different opportunities, I see that, we always want to have that representation of us. So I just kind of feel like when somebody look at me and they say, "Hey, if she can do it, then so can I." So every female, everybody, we always come up on the backs of other people. So I truly feel like that God opened this door for me in order to me to move forward with this process to make sure that, you know, we can see each other. So every time it's a time and a place, and I think that it was just a time. I never would have thought it. I never would have imagined it either. I'm still humbled by the experience, and you know, trying to trying to really take it all in. That I am the fall on the fall cover of Southern Crescent Women in Business. So I just, I'm just, I'm still at awe. So I'm still speechless by it. I'm still humbled by it. And I'm so grateful and so thankful to you as well for just having that opportunity as well. But I just think that it was just that time for God to display, say, hey, this is Mica Johnson and this is her and this could be you too.
Well, absolutely. And one thing I really like about you is your humble spirit. And I mean, I always, I said, well, I said, well, Micah, don't let these folks, underestimate you. Because you're a little bit of a quiet storm and that's what I see. I don't know if you've been told that before, but that's what I see. So I do want to make sure we give people an opportunity to follow you. Any advice you have for any women in business, female entrepreneurs, as well as when do we see the Mica Insurance School?
Yeah, so my plan is to, after everything goes through, so you know as well as I do, there's always a plan and always a guide that you got to go through to or get to where you want it. So I just my plan is for it to open in May of 2024 of next year. And there's some
Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you. So there are some little hurdles and some other technical things that I have to go through and get approval from, making sure everything is in line with State Farm as well. So May of 2024 is planning to be the grand opening for it, and just making sure that everybody has that opportunity to be able to go and expand their, education if they want to get an insurance license, whether it's property or casualty, or whether it's health or, life or whatever it is, or whether it's continuing education.
Absolutely. So everyone can follow you at Covered by MJ, as well as uh, Mica Williams Johnson State Farm Agency on Facebook. And I know you're going to be on a national platform actually in the next month or two. So you're definitely laying down the groundwork for what's to come in May of 2024. So that's going to come really, really quick. But you have officially been approved to open an insurance school in the state of Georgia.
Yes, I have. So I've already did my background and filled out all my applications and all that stuff for it. So officially, I have been approved for that. Now I'm just waiting on. I have to do some other stuff and make sure everything is compliance with State Farm in order to make sure everything is approved on that end. But yes, I have.
That is amazing. Well, I'm super excited for you, excited for where things are going at with your life and your business. And I know we're talking about, insurance, but you also, have a couple other businesses. Do you want to mention them really quickly?
Yeah, so I do have some other things that I'm a part of, and so it's founded by God, all that glam. It's a branding company, a branding business, that helps people to brand their business if they personalize apparel or anything for their business, and so people can know that. So I also have an organization that I'm currently working with, and it is Mica Nichelle. It's a basically a 501c nonprofit agency for women and children, just when they need somewhere to stay. It's a home away from home. So
Oh,
that's
wow.
another thing
Okay.
that I'm doing, that I'm working on. But a lot of different things in the works, but I'm excited about all of them and just continuing it to kind of follow that process. But you could also find me on Instagram as well. I am Mica Nichelle on Instagram.
Awesome. And leave something with the audience. One, how do you stay motivated to do what you do? And any advice for fellow women in business?
I would say one thing. I have this quote that I kind of live by with myself is there's no you without you. So you always got to be you, and you got to always be there for you. So don't worry about anybody else and their race. Run your way, run your race, not their race, because it's all about collaboration and not competition with each other. So if we continue to work together and build together, and you always be you, then there's no stopping you, because you are you. So you got to take care of you.
Absolutely. All right. And again, you say you stay motivated. How?
I stay motivated by realizing that there is no me without me. And then just another thing too, I can say, Ariel. So I stay motivated too because when I look at the people that I'm here for, and I look at the people that need me and the people that I'm trying to be there for at the same time, and then I always continue to put God first, I realize that I always got that's the my motivating factor, is making sure that I remember to put God first, and that if I'm not here, then that's not going to benefit the people that need me, or the people that God has sent me to have purpose for, in order to help them to achieve their goals as well. So I stay motivated by that, continuing to take care of me first.
Absolutely. And we're going to end on that note, but I'll say this, it's been a pleasure getting a brief talk with you. And I'll say this, I know you're wanting to be there for people, but you're also leaving a legacy, for those that you're there to help so they can actually follow. So I think
Yes,
that's
correct.
really, really important. And insurance, heck, that's all about legacy as well, making sure your
Yes.
folks are taken care of. So it has been a pleasure, Mica Johnson. And again, you can follow her on all social media platforms. Again, name those platforms again, please.
Yeah, so on Facebook, you can find me on Mica Johnson State Farm Agency. Also, Mica Williams Johnson on Facebook. On Instagram, you can find me on Covered by MJ, and also I am Mica Nichelle.
All right, you've heard it here. This has been another episode of Women Wealth and Entrepreneurship, and it has been a pleasure having you today. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me, Ariel.
This has been another episode of Women, Wealth, and Entrepreneurship. Again, thank you again to Southern Crescent Women in Business. Our 2023 media participants include the Alzheimer's Services Center, Tyronica Carter of Radiant Styles, Alicia Williams of The Dazzling Diva, Yvette D. Best of Best Tax Solutions, LLC, Debracia Hale of Divine Designs, Melissa Ellis of Life Beyond Water, and Catherine Jordan of The Savvy ID. Again, thank you for joining Women, Wealth, and Entrepreneurship.